Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Box Office Buddies podcast. Dan is out this week. I'm Jonathan. I am joined by Faceless.
I'm
I'm also joined by Grug.
Hello.
Well, let's start with the number 10. At number 10, we have The Mandalorian and Grogu with 1.75 million. That is a 58% drop, bringing the domestic total to 175.41 million and the internationals at 160.38 million. Worldwide, this is sitting at 335.79 million. This is on a $165 million budget, so, not great. We say it every week.
well, there is one thing to note. It finally made more money than Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So
Yay.
It's the biggest movie of the decade for Lucasfilm. Let's give it up, guys.
Hell yeah. One of two. I believe this is still, bar none, the lowest grossing Star Wars movie in terms
Live
of
action.
recent at least. Yeah, live action. Yeah, I forgot about the other one with Big Rada.
It's Rada.
It's Rada. Rada's the reason. Rada's the reason these bomb. Yeah. So not great, but y'all have anything else to say about Mandalorian? This is its last weekend. You gotta.
Grungleman and Binkus. What is there to say?
I still haven't seen it. I've watched the entire show. I still haven't seen it.
You gotta kiss it goodbye. This is the last time we're seeing
I'm not
it.
kissing it. I'm punching it.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, Grug, I think you would love to do number 9. You were telling me you're very hyped for this one.
Yeah, I know. All right, at number 9 we have Shower. Bleach. 1,000-Year Blood War. The Calamity. It made 1.95 million domestic opening weekend, and total now is 2.95 million. It opened Thursday. I think it's only playing domestic, I believe.
It is.
Yes. It was in 953 theaters and made the per theater average was $2,702. None of us have watched the show.
I think we were talking about this earlier. It's, I think, 3 new episodes. Yeah, so, I mean, comparable to the Digital Circus one, honestly. Just, that one had a pre-existing episode, but
Yeah.
it's one of those. It's just for people who are like, I want to see new episodes in theaters.
I wonder if anybody who's like a fan of Bleach is going to be watching this and is just going to be like really offended. Like I have not seen a frame of this show.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe I'm being a little mean about it, but we do know someone, and
We know so.
Yeah. We know someone. We'll leave it at that.
This seems fine for what it is. It just seems like a opportunity to make a quick buck, and they took it. Yeah, I mean, is what it is. Decent. I think that's really all you can say about it.
Numero ocho is Masters of the Universe at 2.32 million, at its second worst drop at 63%. It sits at 62.02 million domestic, 47.4 million internationally, for 109.42 million worldwide. So good news, it's past the halfway mark of its budget.
Is it even going to be in the top 10 next weekend?
I finally saw the movie. It's decent. Like I think it's a decent movie that that there's going to be some people that are going to be on Reddit in like 7 years and be like, I can't believe no one saw this. And
I can believe no one saw it.
They can absolutely.
I can tell. I haven't looked at like the Masters of the Universe subreddit, but I already just have like an intuition of the subreddit is gonna have like people that are gonna be like, no, 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 it's actually this is good. It's gonna get a seat. It's like this is what I saw with like the Mad Max subreddit when Furiosa came out. Until
Ugh.
they're just like, yeah, no, it's to watch a fandom just slowly lose its faith.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think they're like Gen X and millennials.
yeah, it's just like most of them Gen X, and
Yeah,
Gen X
yeah.
just doesn't go to movies as much. This is a little harsh for this movie. I do think it sucks that it's doing this bad, but at the same time, it's like I said, probably the most predictable outcome like of any movie this summer. We've been talking about it. It's kind of fried. It's it's not doing well, and it has no hope of getting anywhere close to that $200 million budget. So
Masters
yeah,
of the Universe could be a good buy. Um, it's unfortunate. The movie definitely should have done a little better, but
yeah.
it is what it is.
It
Love
just
movies.
needed better reception, I think, for it. And it just the word of mouth was like decent at best.
Jared Leto curse.
And and he cursed the movie he's doing.
Yeah, it's like it's not him being bad, it's just his mere presence that curses a movie. Number 7, still chugging along, we got Scary Movie with $3.06 million this weekend. That's a 52% drop. The domestic total is $103.59 million. International is 104.4 million, bringing the worldwide total to 207.99 million. This is on a $30 million budget, and this is the second highest grosser in the franchise. The first one is still far and away the highest. I don't think it's not going to reach that. It made 277 million. I'm sure they're beyond happy about this. I mean, the return is amazing.
I kind of forgot this movie came out.
It's still here. Still here.
It's still people don't seem to be liking to be offended, considering it hasn't dropped under 50% a single
Yeah.
weekend. Though this was its lightest drop, I hope people realize that like I don't actually think this movie's offensive. I just want to clarify that in
Yeah.
case someone's like
I think very few people truly do. It's just that was what they wanted to sell the premise on, and maybe that worked. I don't know. So I feel like just a lot of people just wanted to see another scary movie, but Paramount's probably very happy. They're probably going to make Scary Movie 7 as soon as possible.
At number 6, we have I Am a Fucking Architect, aka Backrooms. It made 4.32 million this weekend. It's down 40% from last weekend. So far, it's made 104.19 million domestically. Internationally, it has made 145.91 million. And worldwide, the total is 330.1 million, which let me check again. Not quite, almost above Mando and Grogu. And this is on a $10 million budget.
Yeah, that's passing. Yet another horror movie slays the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Grango Mignon.
Yeah,
No.
with it. I'm fine with it. I mean, A24 is probably just on cloud 9 with this because I mean, they've never had anything this big. It's the domestic, worldwide, anything. It's just pretty handedly their biggest hit. It really hooked the audience that it needed to, which is the Gen Z. That's who's going to movies.
Mm-hmm.
They went over to see it. And I know people are still talking about it. It's not left the conversation. It's had real staying power, even though it did have some pretty severe drops at the beginning.
Yep.
It's doing pretty well now, and I mean, it's already beyond in the clear. So like, this is just pure profit.
So much talk about A24 being on cloud 9, when now they're even higher because number 5 is the death of Robin Hood. I'm just kidding. Number 5 is Disclosure Day.
The increase for Death of Robin Hood.
The death of Robin Hood went up
Unheard of.
200%. Unheard of. A24 is so bad.
It completely cleans Obsession's increase from earlier this
Oh
year.
yeah, it's going for that 300 Obsession. Something Obsession could never fathom. Disclosure Day doing 8.25 million, a 53% decline. That brings it to a 94.54 million domestic total, 100.5 million international, 195.03 million worldwide total on a 115 million budget. So after all is said and done, it's okay. For what this was, this was such a wild card, and like this could have been a lot worse, especially considering how people responded to it.
Yeah. People are
So
pretending this is like one of the worst movies ever made. Well, some people.
They do that with a lot of movies.
They did it with Backrooms, so
yeah, they have back rooms, but thankfully, I think that conversation died out pretty quick.
because Disclosure Day came out.
Yeah, just Disclosure Day came out. Also, I guess we got to see people somehow LARPing an image. I didn't know that was possible, but it happened. And
Wow.
but yeah, Disclosure Day easily gonna cross 100 million soon. Probably gonna finish, honestly. Maybe I think my 112 prediction for the early summer maybe was on point.
Almost as close as 480 million. Almost.
Yeah, almost close. Yeah,
Found a way to
yeah.
bring it up. Okay.
Yeah, Devil Wears Prada. Yeah, 313,000. It's gonna start picking up soon.
It'll pick up.
Yep.
It just
Yeah.
needs 260 million to get there. You got this, John.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, for original sci-fi, it's no Project Hail Mary or anything, but I think, especially also for a recent Spielberg movie, this is a good result. And I
Yes.
think on digital, I think they'll be more than in the green once it's on digital. And number 4, we have Jackass Best and Last with a 8.46 domestic opening weekend and 1.9 million international opening, bringing the worldwide total to 10.36 million. This was playing in 2,855 theaters with a per theater average of 2,965. This is a $10 million budget, the same as Forever. A- cinema score, and that's tied for series high with the first movie. But granted, I think I know why that's the case. It's because really only the Jackass fans turned up.
That, and there were probably some other fans of it who saw that it was a lot of it as a clip show and decided to just kind of opt out, and I don't blame them.
I don't. We'll get into this a little more later on, but I it's kind of hard. I was thinking about this earlier. It's kind of hard to justify spending like the price of a ticket to see like half of like old footage that you can very easily watch like at home. All right, so the demos for this 69% male. I'm beyond shocked. That's crazy. No way. Okay, ages 25-34 were the highest turnout. It's 37% of the audience, and it was 52% Caucasian,
Of course.
29% Hispanic, 9% Black, 5% Asian. And when this compares to the openings of the other Jackass films, this is in dead last. pretty handedly. um, but Jackass 3D made 50 million its opening, 90th biggest opening ever at the time. And even the first movie, which is the second lowest opening, it did like 22. This is the first one to not do above 20 million. Little a little sad because it is the last one, but I feel like it's just kind of expected. As much as I hate to say it. I mean,
What are you gonna do? It's a clip show.
Yeah, it's couldn't it couldn't even match Forever's opening day of 9.6.
Oh,
I mean, this isn't really good. Like this just isn't good. It's pretty bad, and the series is pretty front loaded kind of to begin with. So, I this is gonna struggle to get to 20 domestic.
and I am
Which
sure this played extra fan heavy compared to literally any other Jackass.
Yeah,
So,
I know this got an A- cinema score, but I can't imagine people are gonna be too jazzed about seeing this over the next couple of weeks.
it's unfortunate as a fan of Jackass. It's just in these times, I feel like you just can't really get away with doing a clip show. It's kind of a hard sell to begin with. I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was just like, "Oh, this is like they're just gonna show old bits." That's kind of disappointing.
At number three, still fighting, and the probably just so far the movie of the summer, and just honestly the movie of the year, at least in terms of like how it's being talked about still, is Obsession. Made 9.7 mil this weekend, almost 10 mil. Holy shit! It is down 28% from last weekend. So far domestically has made 233.8 million. Internationally has made 137.35 million, and worldwide has made 371.16 million, which uh it has ran circles around Mando and Grogu. This is all on a $750,000 budget, but of course, Focus acquired it for 15 million. Uh, they've made that back tenfold. And a little reminder here: this is the all-time highest grosser for both Focus and Blumhouse. I know they said they're doing it. They just absolutely need to push like this for awards.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, they got a real
it would
chance
be a
here.
missed opportunity if they
I
did,
think Curry Barker said that they are going to.
which is good. I could see like at least Indy Neveready getting a nomination. I mean, this could be going for like Best Picture, even though.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, they've nominated horror and Best Picture for like the past 2 years at least. So
Yeah, I could see that happening.
We will probably not see this out of the top 10 anytime soon.
Oh,
no, we don't. There's just not a lot left to say about this anymore because it's already
yeah.
we've been talking about it for like almost 2 months now. It's its first weekend below 10 mil, so he a
Oh
flop.
shit!
So like, but how many weeks has it been out?
It's been out. Wait. It's been out. I think this is its seventh week.
But now we must turn our attention over to a movie that's not going to do as well. In fact, I'm betting money Obsession will probably pass it in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Take it away, Faceless.
Oh yes. I get the DC movie. Okay. Number two is Supergirl, which debuted to 37.1 million domestic, 25.5 million internationally, for a 62.6 million worldwide opening weekend. Now, one thing important to note, it's been kind of known for a while that like Supergirl is gonna be like the number two movie this weekend, and that wasn't, that's not inherently a bad thing because Toy Story, we'll see. Because obviously Toy Story was tracking insane, and it was just like, no matter how big Supergirl gets, it won't, reach Toy Story, and it doesn't have to. But it didn't even try. That's the point. because oh boy, this thing cost is in the budget range of 170 to 186 million, more than the Mandalorian and Grogu. And now we're making the Mandalorian and Grogu look like decent by comparisons. It got a B minus cinema score, which is the I believe is the lowest DC cinema score of the decade, above, of course, Joker 2. So the the benchmark is in hell, and trying to get those female audiences didn't work so much because men over 25 made up 41% of the audience.
God damn.
Women under 25 made up only 15% of the audience, which is definitely more of who this movie was trying to attract. 53% Caucasian, 24% Hispanic, 12% Black, and 7% Asian. Now, this might sound good on paper. But this is, in fact, the 6th biggest opening for DC this decade. So, however, also, this sounds terrible, right? This is like, it's the 6th biggest. It's like, man, DC, they're doing so bad. It is, yeah, it's also the 7th worst. So there are only 5 movies above it and 6 movies below it. There are more movies below this than above it. And and one of those movies above it is in fact Joker 2. So lower than this is Birds of Prey, which did 33 million back in 2020, which that was just what was going on with that?
Yeah. It didn't have COVID as an excuse. That was way before that. So
yeah, that was a whole month. Yeah. Then Shazam: Fury of the Gods did 30. It was just pure lack of interest. Aquaman 2, 27.6, but also it was Christmas, so it was got the opportunity to leg out and it ended up doing okay. The Suicide Squad, which, keep in mind was an HBO Max dual release with 26.2 million. Blue Beetle got 25 million, but that was Blue Beetle. So no one was really expecting anything out of it. And the Wonder Woman 84 was the worst one with 16.7 million. But it is also important to remember that was HBO Max, and that was also released when literally half the country was closed in the middle of COVID, and they had all the seating stuff with that. So 16.7 million was the biggest opening for a movie at the time. At that time,
yeah.
You had to be there. That was I was like, oh my god, a movie made 16 million.
Yeah, a lot of caveats here with these.
Lots of caveats. So basically, Supergirl, obviously it'll make more than Joker 2 when all is said and done, because Joker 2 made only 1.55 times its opening weekend. However, Supergirl is it's not looking great. I think the range right now is probably somewhere between 65 and 75 million is where I'm going to comfortably place it, which means you guessed it, another movie below Morbius.
Yes.
Morbius stays winning. I can't believe how many movies have just made less than Morbius.
I love how that's just a benchmark now too. Everyone wants to see if it's gonna make more than Morbius. Some big budget bomb.
I do not think this will, because
No.
because Morbius is just barely under the amount this has to make double, and we know how these movies go. We saw what happened with the Marvels, and the Flash movies that just couldn't make double its opening, and people are very picky, and this movie's losing IMAX very, very soon. But I mean very soon, I mean 2 days as of this recording, to Minions. And it's got lots of competition going forward. The Spider-Man is going to completely eradicate it from movie theaters entirely.
If I mean, shit, it could be gone before that.
So if yeah, it probably will be. But if we are being, I would say if we're being a little bit more on the pessimistic end, this could fail to reach Black Adam's opening weekend.
Just the opening weekend, which may I remind you was 67 million.
A fitting number for Black Adam.
Yeah.
And
that's the third best DC opening of the 2020.
I guess probably should have like the top 5 for DC if we're gonna throw in the worst. It was what, Joker 2,
The Flash.
The Flash,
It's like 55 for The Flash.
The Flash, Black Adam, Superman, the Batman.
Thank God the good movies are at the top.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. Black Adam at number 3, top 3.
Yeah.
But it beat 3. So this is really bad, and I would even say downright catastrophic. This is probably going to lose $100 million, and it just goes to show that the KFC meal had no factor in it. Another DC bomb, another day.
The usual.
I mean, I feel like Clayface is very easily gonna do more than this.
Yeah.
That's insane to say, but it's not good for the second movie. It's pretty blatantly not good for the second movie, but yeah.
I think it was just a questionable decision to make this the second movie.
Yeah, I've said this. It feels like a kind of like it's if they made a Phase 4 Marvel movie, like the second, like that was where they released the Incredible Hulk or something, like it just, this was not, I don't know why they thought this was gonna take off so early into the cinematic universe. Like
Decisions were made.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should talk about our number 1 movie, and that is Toy Story 5 with 70.83 million. That's a 56% drop. 298.07 million domestic total. 291.21 million international total, bringing the worldwide total to $589.29 million. That's on a $275 million budget. So at the same point, Toy Story 4 was at $238.69 million domestic. That was a 51% second weekend drop. So this is easily cruising past that. I mean, like, it is far and away ahead of it. All right, so that was our top 10 for our reviews. You know what? Let's broaden our listeners' horizons. Faceless, why don't you start us off with
this movie that isn't real?
You claim it isn't real, but I showed you my ticket. It is. I went into the theater, Auditorium 7, sat in like seat F6, as I watched Lucky Strike, a film starring Scott Eastwood as a guy in World War II who survives an attack, and he must get to this place. And the best way I could put it is, it feels like a Call of Duty movie. And it feels like a video game, and I don't think that's a compliment, because it's trying to be grounded, and it feels like, okay, this is where like this checkpoint is, this is where this checkpoint is. It's like just a series of things just happening at like certain places. It kind of reminded me of 1917 in that way it was structured. But obviously, 1917 was just such a more compelling narrative, and the way that it was made is also just so much more compelling. It's also good. This movie's
Whoa.
not. This movie is basically the opening scene of this movie is extremely telling of what you're going to get. A troop full of like one of those trucks full of black troops fighting for the Allied forces get shot up by Nazis, and what come out are the Nazis that come out of the tank or whatever, and one of them has like a scar on the side of his face, and he's like, "They all look like Jesse Owens, but they all don't run like him." And I realized, oh god, I'm in like boomer fantasy territory. Now listen, this is not me saying like I think I just have to clarify this. This is not me like saying, "Hey, don't portray the Nazis as bad." The Nazis were, of course, unquestionably evil. I think after the Zone of Interest, though, I've been like looking more at like how Nazis are portrayed. I have a problem with this like cartoonishly like evil. And the thing is, they're like not even in the movie all that much. Like I wonder what even like the scene. I mean, it comes back later in the movie, but like it doesn't really have all that much to do with it. It's just like making you like, oh man, I hate Nazis. It feels like I'm watching the intro to like an Indiana Jones movie and not like this grounded take on this like World War II thing. Because the movie dedicates itself to the boys. That's what it says at the end, to the boys. And and I feel like those boys in question who were that you see like lots of like these like horrific deaths, and I'm just supposed to take seriously like these Saturday morning cartoon Skeletorish villains that it takes me out. It takes me out. And as for the main narrative, it goes on and on. And you know, you think going into this, like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a pretty long war movie that's like, 2 hours, 210. This is an hour 42 minutes, and it somehow felt longer than Masters of the Universe, which was 40 minutes longer by comparison. Really, these like set pieces just made me feel nothing. And there's this yeah, I'm just gonna get into spoilers. If anyone cares. I don't think anyone cares. Anyone under the age of 50 has not seen this movie. So in case this wasn't like the ultimate boomer fantasy already, where you have this one guy who's like this attractive Hollywood guy who's like, I'm a I'm a war guy. He has just it flashes of like his wife, where it's like it reminded me of like those like jokes about like the dead wife in movies. And he have pictures like his wife holding a baby. He's like, my wife and baby. I need to get home, and just so you can care. The bare minimum. We don't actually have to flesh him out. He's just wife, baby, good enough for me. Um, there's a scene where he runs into this American guy towards the end, and this American guy helps him. He's like, "Hey," this American guy, he starts saying stuff like, "It's not right what we did to those Indians, Trail of Tears, Nazis, just to portray them as all evil. It's not, they're human too, and the Indians, it was wrong what happened." And so, of course, this guy ends up being a twist Nazi spy, and ends up accidentally killing his dog in a shootout, and he's killed. Obviously, it tips you off when he's talking about like the Nazis and being portrayed that way. I was like, hold on a minute, but like I that's like your typical hold on a minute, but I was already getting the hold on a minute when this guy was like, America has flaws. And the killing of those minorities was bad. I was like, oh no. Is this going where I think it's going? And just him saying that about the Nazis, I'm like, oh god, this is going exactly where I think it's going. And then he's like, how it was also tipped off is like, You don't smoke a cigarette like the boys do. A true American wouldn't smoke it like that. Yeah, that was the longest hour 42 minutes of my life. I think I heard an old man snoring in my theater, which was like weirdly packed. And yeah, I can't say I recommend it. If you want a good war movie, you've got like a billion other selections at home.
For my movie this week, I am choosing Jackass Best and Last. So, as we said when we were talking about Jackass Best and Last box office, this is unfortunately kind of a clip show, new footage with some never before seen footage sprinkled in as well. Kind of just enough to make a 90-minute feature. And all this said, obviously I would have rather us had one more full Jackass. But a lot of the cast, they just can't do it anymore. I mean, Knoxville took one of the most brutal hits he's ever had for forever with that bull. I'm sure many of the others have had some other ones as bad, so they weren't going to be able to do the same stuff they wanted to do. I did still really like this film just as a celebration of Jackass. It really got me going about how much I love this franchise. I've been like ever since I watched it, I've been watching clips nonstop on YouTube just in my free time, just to revisit a bunch of my favorite bits all across the movies. I think I just want to rewatch them, honestly. But this one, and here's the thing. I know we keep talking about the clip show. There are still a lot of good bits in this. There's one very, very disgusting bit where they're playing Twister. Not a fan of that one, but
Yeah.
but the intro is a lot of fun. They kind of do a play on the Virtual Insanity music video without playing the music for some reason. Maybe they couldn't get the rights, but um it was cool. I really liked it. And they have this like escape room from hell that's a lot of fun. You get to see Danger Aaron crashing out. They are still in fact bullying Danger Aaron. Steve-O gets a robot sticks its claw in his ass. Yeah. Listen. If you haven't seen Jackass, this sounds horrible. You just kind of have to see it to understand. Like, it's you have to see it to understand the appeal. It's just I. It's always been said about these movies. I think it's their camaraderie to the point that when it's over, it just kind of feels like it's a little sad to see it end, you know?
Yeah.
It's always a little sad to see a Jackass movie end because it just feels like you're hanging out with some buddies. It's like really the experience they wanted to accomplish. Now, granted, these buddies are doing stuff I would never do with my buddies. Uh, but you know, it's okay. They're doing it purely for our entertainment. Um, and even still, with the clip show, it was nice. I got a pretty packed audience, so it was nice to watch all of these classic Jackass bits and have a full audience of people laughing at them every time. There's some great ones. They have when Ryan Dunn stuck a car up his ass. Rest in peace, by the way. He stuck a car up his ass
Oh,
and went to an X-ray. The reaction's incredible from the doctor. um, the from Jackass Forever, they have one of my favorite bits, the Silence of the Lambs, where Knoxville and like Pontius just fuck around with people in the dark. This actually has some extra footage that's never been seen with Bam in the same bit because Bam wasn't in the last one. Except for one bit very briefly, but they had some new footage of Bam freaking out in the Silence of the Lambs activity. They of course have the poop cocktail because you got to have that. They even have a bit from Bad Grandpa, which I was not expecting. I was kind of expecting them to kind of ignore Bad Grandpa, but no, one of the best parts of Bad Grandpa was in it. So ultimately, I had a blast watching this movie. I don't really see much need to revisit it because half of it is old footage, but it was just a great experience.
I also saw it. I'm not gonna take too much time though, of course, because I think I knew going in the whole the whole clip show aspect, and yet it was still a little bit disappointing because there were just glimmers of them. There were moments where they were like editing around stuff, and I kind of wish they weren't because like this is the last one. Like they cut out some stuff, and it's evident. I'm not just saying this because I'm like, oh, I did some deep research. Like no, like the editing is just kind of like that sometimes with some of the bits where it's like or some of the newer cast members just don't get a lot to do, and if you're looking for some of that you'll be disappointed. But if you're looking to just see like a good glimpse of what Jackass was and all the great stuff from it, then I think you're gonna have a good time because it doesn't ask a lot of its audience. It's just sit back and enjoy the good times that we had and look at what we have now. And it is emotion. I mean, seeing there's a point where Johnny Knoxville he like he's about to start welling up. It's a very real thing, and it's a sad reminder that even as immortal as these guys are, they're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
So all good things do have to come to an end, but the ride was incredible while it lasted.
My movie is Supergirl, and I would like to open my court statement here with the claims people have made that I think are not true. They say that one needle drop in this movie, you'll know it, is the worst in any superhero movie. I've seen a lot of people say that. Now, I will say it is one of the worst. It is not the worst. The worst
Okay.
still goes to The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't think anyone's topping that. I will also say I think just how funny it is. I think Memories was a funnier, just better Neil drop.
Well, Memories was just like it was like just a perfect icing on the cake. That just kind of to me that is like the embodiment of the Venom trilogy. Like that explains everything without saying a word of dialogue. But I would actually like I think the problem with this needle drop though is that like it's in like one of the most important scenes in the movie. Like one of the bigger moments, and it just kind of like in this moment that should be like cool and whatever, it really takes you out. And I was like, hold on, what am I listening? It was like the image of like the mosquito playing the violin next to the ear.
For some reason, also with that, I have seen like to try and like defend it. They compare it to the scene with Mister Terrific and Superman. You know that
No.
fun, and it's
Oh
like, and I feel like I'm going insane because like no, that's like one of the best needle drops of that movie.
no, that was just like that's like a chill beach song. And like I don't know
It's like
what
goofy
people.
action
How is
scene
it? And this is like a cover on TikTok.
is played during like a really emotional scene. That's probably that needle drop is probably just the worst part of the movie. Though overall, I I thought the movie was fine. I'll just get my negatives out of the way. How about that? Second worst part of the movie. What an amazing villain, Graham.
He's so unmemorable that his name is like seared into my brain.
Graham.
They
Like
also say it like 30 times.
There's
Krem.
it was honestly pissing me off a little in the climax just how much bullshit they had to go through just for him to even be like a threat to Supergirl.
Yeah. And here's the thing. He is this boring. and he's Space Epstein. He's essentially Space Epstein, and he's just boring as shit. Like,
So weird. And it's like the actor's trying his damnedest to like try to make something funny out of him, or at least something memorable, but like he just can't.
Character.
Completely held back by the script. Also I think his design is fucking stupid.
He looks like someone that you would see at like a Marilyn Manson concert. I mean that in a derogatory way.
Third worst part of the movie. I found this actually applies to a good amount of parts of the movie. It feels like very good ideas and just poor execution. I like I like the idea like what they do with Supergirl, like being in like this kind of like stupor, remembering the past, and you have like her with a girl who like also basically like chasing her past and not like, I mean, you can't blame her for not moving on, but like not trying like going down like a bad path, which I like the like reflection there. Uh the problem is the movie has problems where it feels like it's too short at points, but then it's like too long at other points. Like once they get to the planet of like the third act, I feel like it takes like way too long to get to the final battle. This relationship could really work, but I feel like it's not like focused on enough. It doesn't work the way like the director wanted it to. Yeah. And another thing this applies to is Lobo. Lobo, for like the scenes that he's in, he's fun. Jason Momoa plays him really well. I hope he comes back in the future. He definitely will. It feels like he was tacked on.
it's one of the best castings they've done for the DCU so far. It's like so much better casting than his role as Aquaman.
Oh yeah, God. He just literally looks like the fucking character.
I think they just wanted to show him off as soon as possible. I would love to see a show for Lobo.
I think a Lobo show would probably worked a lot better. Like really, if we got like a Lobo show and then he had like the same like I guess screen time in this, I'd probably forgive it a little more. I don't know. Those are like really my biggest things with the movie. Small stuff. It's like kind of weird because I feel like every other needle drop works, and then there's that one. They went through 45 different song options to choose that one. I don't believe Craig. How do you say his last name? He said James Gunn chose it. I don't believe him. I don't believe him one bit.
Especially if he had 45 options. Maybe he chose the original
Yeah,
version. This is a cover.
the original version probably could have worked.
I think
It
so.
would have fit better, at least. Uh, yeah. But I will say, like overall, I did enjoy this movie. I think its strongest points, and I honestly wish there was like more of it. The Krypton. Well, I guess I'll go to the spoilers. So
Here's your warning.
the Krypton like flashback scenes, which I think are really interesting because I know Supergirl's like character in the comics revolves a lot around that because she was like, unlike Clark, she actually like grew up in Krypton's fall. And I think that is like really cool, and the scenes themselves are like pretty good. I just wish there was like more. Probably one of the other best parts of the movie for the 5 to 10 minutes he's on screen. Superman himself, uh, David Cornsweet, just like give him whatever script he just nails. He is just Superman. So like I keep seeing just like comments on like Instagram and TikTok just saying like they shook a comic book and he fell right out of it. And I think he is just like probably the best casting in the whole DCU. And I will say, yeah, like I was saying, all the actors I think do a good job. Millie, fuck all the haters. She delivers most of her lines like well. It's just a lot of the big problem with this movie is like the script, the way things are written. Creme. Overall, I just thought it was like enjoyable. As some like nice bits to the DCU. I can definitely see why someone wouldn't like this movie.
Yeah, we we didn't really like this one.
You
Being
liked it less
faceless.
than I did. You liked it less than I did.
I think I did. Yeah, I don't know. I just found this to be so lifeless. And honestly, I think I am admittingly being a little harsh on it, but it's because I'm just so sick of these mid superhero movies. I'm so sick of it. I thought we were past this. I mean, it's like I saw most of the DC films that came out in 2023. That was such a demoralizing experience, man. Like it just every time it was just depressing to watch. And I thought with the new DCU, we would be past this at least for a bit. And Superman came out. And it was like, oh, this is amazing. This is so fun. This is so vibrant. James Gunn's really got it. And then we have literally the first film not done by James Gunn. And it's just like, huh, it's one of these. Okay. Some ugly sludge space film. I think one of the core problems for me is really I think it looks really bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Not necessarily the visuals themselves, it's more so well, the third act looks awful. But
Yeah.
but the color palette, it's just so brown, it's gross. It's like ugh. It's and then we've talked about the comics supposedly like colorful.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to tell.
Apparently, Craig Gillespie did because he deliberately chose not to read it.
Yeah, because it made it brown. It's just so it just feels so stilted in every way. I just there's very few scenes that I genuinely enjoyed in this film. And I kind of feel bad that I came out. I wanted to like this. I really did because I mean, like I said, I love Superman. Is amazing film. And I've liked pretty much everything else in the DCU. I have some problems here and there, but I think they're overall great projects. This one just I think I was more than anything just upset that this was the second movie. Like we're already getting into issues that like the MCU is just now starting to get past, but they had to deal with these like what 10 years into their run.
Yes.
More than 10 years, honestly. Probably more like 15 years. Like it's just
Yeah.
I think the problem is definitely James Gunn is letting like these projects that should be later parts of the DCU loose too early.
he's
Like,
maybe getting a little too
yeah,
fanboyish,
we like
honestly.
because we have both a Supergirl movie and a Clayface movie. Let's see, but before a Wonder Woman movie, and before a Batman movie.
Let's not forget. Oh yeah, speaking of like Clayface, it's like I can just use it because it's like it's like a one-off like horror movie,
Yeah,
whatever. It's there to, you know, it's cool. Why are we getting? We're allegedly supposed to be getting. They're working on the Bane Deathstroke movie before we even know who Batman is.
yeah, they need to get Batman in here.
I can't wait for the Killer Croc creature feature.
We're gonna get a Killer Tractor movie. We're gonna get like an El Diablo movie before we get a Batman movie at this rate. Because
Yeah.
we're going by. Oh yeah, if the script is good, but like
I think honestly, just at this point, if if you're struggling this much to have a Batman, now I am against this. I'm against making this decision, but I think it would just be better than not having a Batman for a few more years. Just just make the Reeves verse like canon to the DCU. It would take away a lot of those movies like that movie's gravity and like just world, like just all that, but like I prefer it to just like no Batman.
like again, like you were saying, Jonathan, it feels this movie, like you said, it was on autopilot, and it really does feel like it's on autopilot. Like we're just moving every scene that's not a set piece is a vehicle to get to the next set piece. And then you have the flashbacks, and I didn't feel the weight of those flashbacks. And we're still in, of course, we're still talking spoilers. Um, the scenes like with apparently like in the comics it goes into like how she had to care for all the dying people in the city. I don't think the movie really. I didn't feel that trauma. Like, she just kind of came and was like, "Ah, I'm drunk and it's cold," but like, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that pain. I felt it more at the ending of Superman than I did this entire movie, and I think that's a problem because she was in that movie for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's ugly. It looks like the toilet from Train Spotting. It's
Oh my god.
there's
The Saw bathroom.
it doesn't really have a personality. I wanted something, in there to make me feel like I want to, understand her character, and I don't really feel like I got a lot out of her character. I felt like I kind of all the things I just assumed about her character just kind of ended up happening, and I was just like, yeah. And then
Yeah.
the revenge motif is so like quarter baked, not even half baked. It's quarter baked. It does feel a lot longer than it is, kind of like the hit film Lucky Strike. And I feel like this is a movie I can only recommend to like DC diehards.
the the thesis of this essay, James Gunn should have directed this.
Please, James, come back.
If it's a big problem if you're the first movie that's not directed by James Gunn in your universe, and everyone's asking why isn't James Gunn directing this? Maybe you want to think about who you're hiring for these projects.
All right. Well, that is our review section. I guess I guess it's time to take a look at the predictions for next weekend. All right, Grug, you want to start?
Yes, all right. Number one, I have Minions 3, of course. It's the fucking Minions. I, I'll put 59.67 million. Ooh. Number two, I got Toy Story 5, of course. And I put 37.35 million, This is, it'd be a good hold. Number three, I got the Angel Studio Slop. I put down 17.24 million. It's not making number one, Angel. Fuck everything your studio stands for. Number four, I have Supergirl, 8.43 million. Average DC drop.
That's a fun
Oh,
guess.
And number five, Obsession, 6.7 million. Even though.
Woo! I'm gonna go in reverse order. Ooh, changing up this time. Number five, Obsession with 6.79. 6.79. Yeah. Number four, Supergirl, making the Flash look reasonable at 8.61 million. Um, number three, Young Washington. I have a little bit higher, 18.12 mil. Toy Story 5, 36.25 mil. And number one, Minions with 55.36 mil.
all right. And for mine, number one, Minions, 58.5 mil. Toy Story 5 is going to be next with 39.34 mil. Young Washington at number three with get this,
Oh, I see what you
Ooh,
did.
ooh.
17.76 million.
Ooh.
Because it's the 4th of July. It's four and number four, we have Supergirl. I think we're all in agreement this is going to make the 8 million range. 8.5 is what I put. And Obsession at 6. This is probably going to be its highest drop yet because it's coming to digital. And I think this will actually kind of affect it this time. All right. So that's been another episode of the Box Office Buddies podcast. I've been Jonathan, joined by Faceless
Yes, me.
and Grug.
Free Palestine.
Yes, sir.